a hacktivist group made up of gay furries targeted the Heritage Foundation and their Project 2025 and released some chat logs. So now the group, known as SIEGEDSEC, released screenshots of conversation between one of the hackers and a Heritage Foundation executive named Mike Howell. Now they had posted about 2 gigabytes of data online. They say that they had retrieved from the foundation's server. There was a lot more information that they decided not to release because it was junk, nonsense, not really, practical, effective, whatever, to their goals. So now in a Telegram post on Tuesday, the hackers had wrote, Project 2025 threatens the rights of abortion healthcare and LGBTQ plus communities in particular. So of course, we won't stand for that. Now the post included a screenshot of what appeared to be lines of foundation user data and a link to a database believed to contain passwords, email addresses, and full names of the Heritage Foundation website users, including government employees, and the think tank's president, Kevin Roberts, who recently talked about how 2025 will be a bloodless, or they're in the middle of a bloodless revolution if the left allows it to be. So basically, lay down, submit, and we may not kill you. Oh, that's horrifying. Now, that said, Heritage Foundation, they said, oh, we weren't actually hacked. He said, this is, according to a spokesperson, an organized group stumbled upon a 2-year-old archive of the Daily Signal website that's available on a public-facing website owned by a contractor. The information obtained was limited to usernames, names, email addresses, and incomplete password information of both heritage and non-heritage content contributors, as well as article comments and the IP addresses of the commenter. No heritage systems were breached at any time, and all heritage databases and websites remain secure, including the Project 2025. That said, I don't know if that's true or not. There was a chat between Howell and one of the hackers with the username of Vio. Now, it started out kind of calm, but it got pretty heated pretty quickly. Now, Howell had started the conversation with asking, hey, why did you do this? What are you looking for? What are you seeking? What are you trying to threaten us with? Okay. Now, Vio responded by saying, we want to make a message and shine a light on who exactly supports the Heritage Foundation. We don't want anything more than that, not money and not fame. We're strongly against Project 2025 and everything the Heritage Foundation stands for. Okay. Now, they also say that SIEGEDSEC was part of a campaign against organizations that oppose trans rights. So the conversation started that way and then got pretty nasty on the part of Howell, which is to be expected because Howell is a bigot transphobe. Okay. And in fact, Howell had said, quote, closeted furries will be presented to the world for the degenerate perverts they are. So to basically expose who they are. And then added, your means are minuscule compared to mine. You can either turn yourself in or you can cooperate. Wow. He also stated, and this is really bad. Are you aware that you won't be able to wear a furry tiger costume when you're getting pounded in the federal prison I put you in next year? Jeez. Now, Vio, of course, threatened to share the logs to show Howell's use of what he called unprofessional language from an executive director. Howell went further by saying, please share widely. I hope the word spreads as fast as the STDs do in your degenerate furry community. So understand, this is who these Heritage Foundation people are. They're pretty nasty, pretty bad people. That said, I'm not gonna, I can't condone hacking, because I don't want to condone hacking on my videos or anything like that, because it is wrong to go and breach terrible people's computer systems. Please do not do that. Okay. But I do agree with Vio saying this. He said, the rights your organization violates will be 10 times worse than any crime I've committed, which they did commit a crime. You do not follow God if you use religion as a crutch to hate people. While I hide behind a screen to fight for my rights, you hide behind religion to attack the rights of others. 100%. 100%. I agree with that statement right there. Now, look, the group And by the way, he's also right about what Project 2025 does. Okay, it among many things, it seeks to go after the LGBTQ community. Okay, specifically removing labor discrimination protections, which have been broadly applied to LGBTQ plus people since the 2020 Supreme Court decision in Bostock v. Clayton. Now, that ruled that a person could not be fired for simply being gay or trans. So I don't know if a lot of people were had known about this, but before that decision, being suspected of being gay or transgender would get you fired. Again, not a lot of people knew that. And so Bostock v. Clayton, Clayton County is one of those decisions where it's like, oh my God, it turns out most people didn't even know you could get fired for being gay or trans in the job. Everybody just kind of assumed that that didn't happen, but actually it did. More often than we would have, than I think a lot of people were aware of and certainly would like to admit, certain people anyway. And so it's good that we have that. Project 2025 would undermine that. In fact, they would remove those protections, and such a change would effectively allow for workplace discrimination against gay and trans people. Now, another goal of Project 2025 would be to ban transgender people from the military. And again, this is a couple of bullet points in a 900-page document, okay? And in that document, Roberts describes the, quote, toxic normalization of transgenderism and the omnipresent propagation of transgender ideology. So all of that is just gobbledygook, okay, from, basically bigoted right-wingers, okay? Toxic normalization. Oh my God, transgender people exist. Oh, why are you contributing to the toxic normalization of trans people? Wow. And they generally believe that just trans people being accepted is just a terrible thing. And understand that's what they mean when like, you're ramming transgenderism down my throat. You're making me accept that they're humans. Yeah. and by the way, people who dress up in fursuits are still humans as well. So yeah, that's another thing, right? We're all people here, and we're all deserving of human rights. And I don't care what you dress up as in your own bedroom, as long as it's with a consensual adult. Why would you care? Why would anyone care what someone else does in their bedroom with another consenting adult? Just the fact that the right wing, the Heritage Foundation folks, are so obsessed with what people are doing in private, having whatever sex they want, okay, with whomever, as long as it's consenting adults having sex, it shouldn't matter. But for these people, they're obsessed with it. And it's so incredibly weird. And then wanting to make laws to tell people what kind of sex is permissible. No, it's deeply un-American, and it is against every single idea of freedom that they claim to be in favor of. Okay, absolutely ridiculous. Now there's more. They would also try to reclassify LGBTQ plus content online as being porn, essentially, and then banning it. So they want to pass a porn ban and then basically classify everything related to being LGBTQ as being pornographic so they can get rid of it. So, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And then, of course, they also go after reproductive rights. For one, Project 2025 seeks to withdraw mifepristone, which is used in about 60% of U.S. abortions, from the market, along with demand that the federal government cut funding for abortion. And although an outright national abortion ban is not spelled out in the document, very likely that's on the docket anyway, because of some of the language that they use, as far as oh, hey, we believe in life at conception and things like that. Well, okay, and we want to protect unborn life. That's just coded language saying that, yes, we are going to come after abortion rights, we are going to try to ban it in whatever capacity that we can. And so whether it be a national ban or just allowing the states to continue their bans or pushing states to do their bans, that's the way they're going to do it. So that's the real story, okay? Now, the other part of the story is Donald Trump denying or trying to deny who is behind Project 2025, which is BS because he knows. Turns out at least 140 people who worked for him were involved. This is according to a CNN analysis, which found that nearly 240 people that had ties to both Project 2025 and Donald Trump, which covered nearly every aspect of his time in politics and in the White House, from day-to-day foot soldiers in Washington, D.C., to the highest levels of his government. Yeah, that's who works on Project 2025 in the Heritage Foundation. So the idea that he has no idea who's behind it is ridiculous. And not only that, but there's also this video from a Heritage Foundation dinner in 2022.
Our country is going to hell. The critical job of institutions such as Heritage is to lay the groundwork, and Heritage does such an incredible job at that. This is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Yeah, this is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork for the detailed plans, exactly what my government is going to do. Oh, okay, but he doesn't know them, though. He doesn't know them. No, not at all. Not at all. No, what Donald Trump is doing is that he knows the polls. He can read them. It turns out the American people, the more they learn about what's in Project 2025, the more they end up hating it. Okay? Now, this is from Navigator Research, which is a progressive messaging and polling resource. They looked into how Americans view Project 2025 with the stated goal, of course, of making sure that when people know about it, they hate it. Okay? Navigator Research, in its first 3 releases, which was published on Monday, found that 7 in 10 Americans did not know about enough about the project to have an opinion, while 4 in 5 Americans said they had never heard about it. But they found that as people learn more about it, their opposition to it grows. Found that after learning more about the policies in Project 2025 and reading negative messaging about the plan, independent support decreased from 10% to 6%, and their opposition increased from 25% to 72%. So, again, that's the official goal of Navigators, to teach people about it, to tell them what's in the plan, so that, people, when they learn, like, oh my God, this sucks. Now, the report also said that Democrats and independents who were against Project 2025 were worried that it would threaten American rights and freedoms, which is true, while non-MAGA Republicans who were against it were worried that it would hurt the middle class and working families. That's another thing. So there it is. The more people know about the project, what conservatives really want the government to look like, the less chance Heritage Foundation has of enacting it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.